So you might have seen these going around, and they're fake if you haven't heard that already. There's supposed to be memes for hashtag walk away, which is, if you don't know, it's a movement of like left leaning people, like like actual liberals and like center left people, basically leaving the left wing because it's too far left. Now, I don't really know where they're going. I don't know if they're becoming right wing. I don't know if they're voting Republican. All I can say is they're leaving the left. And how many are there? I have no idea. I did another video in the past on how people were accusing them of being like just a Russian bot operation, and from what I can tell, they're completely legit. The organization, or there is a campaign or a movement called hashtag Walk Away of people leaving the left wing, and I know plenty of them. Like there are people all over the internet posting their stories and talking about how yes, like basically there are people leaving the left because it's become intolerable. Like there are plenty of public figures like that, and this should be as no surprise. Now, how many people? Again, I have no idea how many people there are. The Facebook group has 60,000 members, but it seems like conservatives are really like jumping in on this, or Republicans, I should say, are really jumping in on this and promoting it. And obviously, like, who would blame them if it's a movement of left wingers saying the left wing is crazy and we're coming to the right wing? Then obviously they would want to promote it and make it look good. But honestly, I think that does a lot of harm. I think conservatives are, again, Republicans, I guess, because they're more like the about the politics and the midterms, and that Republicans should really stay out of it, stay out of the hashtag walk away campaign, because again, like 60,000 members in a public group, we have no idea how many of those are legitimate people that are part of walk away, or if they're just Republicans trying to help the movement, trying to make it look bigger than it actually is. And I'm not trying to make them seem malicious when I say that, like, hey, they're trying to make the movement seem bigger than it is, but that's just what's happening. Like, we have no idea if those 60,000 people are 5,000 former left-wingers and 55,000 right-wingers that are, like, trying to help the movement or what. We have no idea. And it's because the right-wingers are jumping in on this that makes the number so uncertain, and makes it easy for people to just dismiss it, because I see all kinds of stuff from the right saying, like, hey, walk away. But again, like I can't tell how big this movement is and how much of it is actually organically left wing or former left wing. But anyway, I want to focus on these. So these came out, and oddly enough, they don't have any icon on them. They don't have any like company or business or organization that really says who made them or where they're from, because generally, if you're running a campaign or some kind of movement, like, that's what you do. If you see, this honestly looks like, I'm not saying it's them, but this looks, just from the way it's designed, like something that Turning Point USA would make, from the colors and all that. It seems like a Turning Point USA thing, but they didn't put their logo on it. And I know they do that with pretty much everything I've seen, at least. They put their logo at the bottom. So, again, I don't know, like, who made these. This doesn't look like any organization's colors or like logos or anything that I would recognize. So as for who made it, like whether they're left-wing people made it to make the right look bad, I suppose it's possible. I don't think that's true. I don't know who made them, but the point being, it's all controversial now, because the people in these pictures aren't real. Like, they're Shutterstock images. They're just public domain people. They're not actually the people saying these words. And I know people are saying that this somehow like disproves the whole walk away movement. I mean, the guy that did the walk away thing has said it's not us, and I suppose I believe him. Like, this does not seem like something that left wingers would make. It just doesn't look like it. Like, this is something that seems like a right winger would make, or at least someone on the left that really understands the right wing. Because you don't really have former left-wingers. I mean, if they're leaving the left, it's because the left has gone nuts. It's not because they support President Trump's America First policies. Like, that's not something a left-winger would say. It's just, these memes don't help. But obviously, like, these are just memes. They're not, like, they're not representative of an entire movement, especially a movement that's just a hashtag. Again, it's not really a well-together movement. As far as I know, again, it's just a hashtag that people can join and that people can use to voice their opinion. But yeah, basically, it doesn't mean anything. That's the thing. Like, I can't figure out how this means something. Because for one, if you were going to make these, and if they were legitimate, like you use Shutterstock images, like people do that all the time. Of course, if someone's a public figure, then they would actually go ahead and use the actual figure's pose. But for the most part, if you're just making like memes to spread a campaign, then yeah, you'd use stock images. That doesn't mean they're fake. It doesn't mean like that's just common knowledge generally. Like that's just a thing people do. They use images like that. Or like again, I just wrote an article for the Foundation for Economic Education. They used a stock, like Shutterstock or a stock photo of a woman for the thumbnail cover. The woman's not associated with the organization in any way. It has nothing to do with my article. It's just a facial expression. Like, everyone knows these are stock images, and there's not much. I don't know. Like, there's just not much here. But again, as for the actual walk away movement, it seems legit. Like, it seems that it's actually legitimate. The people seem real. Like, the guy running it seems legit. And I know of plenty of left-wingers that would be part of this movement. Plenty of people that used to be, like, there's a sizable movement. I mean, there's the liberalists, for example. Like, a group of people, again, not that big, but still a group of people, thousands of people, that are looking at the left and saying, okay, the left is nuts. And I might not necessarily, and they're saying I might not necessarily be right-wing, but I know I'm not on the left. Which, again, like, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying come over to the right. I'm not saying don't come over to the right. I'm just saying the movement seems legitimate. I know plenty of people that would fit in this category. And to say it's not real, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But, like, Snopes rated it a mixture because, hey, they're using stock photos, yes. What's false is the campaign said the memes were not created by them, and it seems legitimate. Like, I don't know who made these or why or for what reason, but, yeah, they're basically fake, but we don't know who made them. And then later I see people like this that Snopes actually had a good, can I zoom in? Snopes actually had a good, something that made my point entirely that I'm about to make. The people that are attacking Walkaway, saying Walkaway is a scam created by Russian bots. In reality, I have never met a liberal who says, you know what, I've decided I hate people and their basic human rights. I think I'll become a Republican. Obviously, this guy, if Walkaway was legitimate, which I think it is, even if there was some, like, undeniable proof that Walkaway was legitimate, this guy would not be able to, like, cope with it. Like, it would not fit into his worldview because he sees a Republican. Again, I don't really like Republicans much either. Again, to differentiate the Republicans from, like, conservatives or the right, I don't generally like Republicans. But you can't go and say, like, oh, the right wing is just a bunch of people that hate basic human rights. It's like, no, this guy is obviously, like, has an incorrect worldview that would not account for people leaving and going to the right. So it seems legitimate. I mean, that's the whole point of this video is basically for me to say this seems legitimate, and the memes don't prove anything, but yes, the memes are fake. Yes. Like, they just seem strange. Like, again, it seems like Turning Point USA colors, but if Turning Point USA was going to make this, they'd put their logo on it, which actually makes, I guess, lends evidence to the fact that it's maybe intentionally faked. Because, again, I'm not trying to say what is, I'm just saying what's possible, because I really have no idea. But I'd love, again, leave your ideas down in the comment section. I'd be interested in knowing what you think. It seems interesting that, like, it reminds me of Turning Point USA, but they don't have the logo. Which makes me think that it's possible that someone could have faked this to say, like, oh, it looks like a standard right-wing meme, but not quite. So I don't know. I don't know if people just like those colors. I don't know if it was by Turning Point USA and they removed their logo because they're obviously right-wing. I don't know. Like, I legitimately don't know. But it doesn't take away from the fact that the movement appears to be legitimate. And all I can say is, like I guess that's a victory for the right wing. I don't even know if they're going to the right wing. But if you're on the right, like, do your best to appeal to these people, to say, like, hey, we'd love to have you. But it seems legit. And whether the movement actually exists or not, again, I'm quite confident that it does exist. There are people leaving the left, and if you cannot fathom why that's happening, that's a problem with you, because it is happening. Like, I can at least understand why people disagree with me. I can understand why people are on the opposite side of the spectrum, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. I agree that people have different opinions, but if you're thinking, like, people cannot if you're saying the walk away movement cannot exist because no one that cares about people would want to join a xenophobic, homophobic, sexist, racist wing of politics, then it's like, get out of your echo chamber. That's all there is to it. But yeah, that's it. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. And thanks for watching.